The movie begins with a kaleidoscopic mix of blue and green, which slowly transforms into the image of a bridge over the ocean. Ren Amari and her brother, Ren Amari, are sitting on the beach wearing black wetsuits. Ren asks Jared if he wants to go back into the water. He declines and jokes about her staying there forever, but finally agrees when Ren tempts him with goggles and flippers. They both dive into the clear water. Another kaleidoscopic image transitions into a view from a building window. Ren opens her eyes, and black fluid drips from her right eye. She's sitting on the floor, surrounded by empty plastic eyedroppers. A countdown clock shows that OtherLife will go live in just over 6 days. We hear a voiceover of Ren sitting in an interview with the TDA, a drug administration agency. The interviewer compliments her impressive academic record, which ended 4 years ago. Ren explains it was because of an accident where her brother nearly drowned. The interviewer expresses sympathy, but Ren clarifies that her brother survived. They discuss OtherLife, a technology that's hard to categorize. Ren explains it's not a drug, but a kind of biological software that lets people create new memories chemically identical to real ones. Later, Ren visits her brother, who is in a coma. She sets up a laptop and a headband to read his brainwaves. Then she uses another eyedropper to place the black fluid into his eye. On the train, Ren declines a call from her father, Robert, and arrives at a busy workspace. A co-worker named Byron reminds her to clear the pending approvals in her queue. Inside an OtherLife simulation, Ren jumps out of a plane and parachutes down, then wakes up in a testing room with Byron. Back in the interview, it's revealed that Ren's father has publicly warned about the dangers of prolonged exposure to her tech. He worries it could cause seizures, or even brain death. Ren agrees there are risks, just like with any substance. In a voiceover, Ren describes her tech while testing a hiking simulation. She says it works like a memory script that the brain follows, using subconscious details to create a perfect day. But she notes the experience won't last beyond that. She tests a snowboarding simulation, climbing a snowy mountain and riding down, but the sequence keeps repeating. She finds herself stuck as the environment starts glitching. Byron finally manages to pull her out, but by then, she had spent 6 simulated days inside. She insists she can fix the code, claiming the snowboarding experience will be a top seller. At a sales pitch, Sam, co-founder of OtherLife with Ren, presents the technology to potential clients. He explains that OtherLife is like purchasable free time, allowing people to live full adventures before work or during a break. He emphasizes it's more than a simulation. It can add years of experience to someone's life. He ends a pitch by asking what they do with their OtherLife. When Ren arrives, Sam introduces her as co-founder and asks her to explain the science behind it. After the meeting, Ren and Sam argue over the company's direction. Outside, Ren runs into Danny, who is waiting for a date she forgot. She apologizes, but says she has to work. Back in the interview, the panel reads reports warning that users might lose touch with reality. They mention that the experience can feel isolating. That night, Ren and Byron stay late to fix the snowboarding glitch. The countdown clock shows 5 days left until launch. Ren finds the bug and tests the new version successfully. As they continue working, Byron asks how many simulations she's tested. Ren says 482, equivalent to living around 20 days in OtherLife within just 1 real day. Danny stops by to deliver a report Sam requested on the long-term effects of OtherLife. Ren didn't know about it. She tells Byron not to go behind her back again. Byron thinks the glitch could actually lead to longer simulations. He and Danny head out for drinks, but Ren stays to work. She reruns the swimming simulation with her brother and is again surrounded by empty droppers. She records her 340th test, noting that it still needs improvement. The interviewers bring up medical uses for OtherLife, such as treating brain or memory disorders, but also mention the ethical concerns of implanting ideas into people's minds. Ren insists she's not pursuing any medical applications. She visits her brother again and tries OtherLife on him. When his eye twitches, she feels hopeful. A nurse notices and she quickly hides the equipment. The nurse says such twitches happen sometimes. Later at home, she studies the data. Byron and Danny call from the bar, teasing her for missing out. Then she receives an email from her father about withdrawing her brother's life support. The next day, she visits her dad at the university where he teaches. They argue about OtherLife, its morality, and its potential to help her brother. Her dad is concerned about the glitch, but Ren insists it's just bad code. He counters that mental illnesses like depression or anxiety could also be seen as bad code, but the brain is far more complex. Ren accuses him of giving up on her brother, claiming that if he's conscious in there, he just needs a way to get out. Her father says he could legally unplug Jared without her consent, but wants her support. Frustrated, Ren returns to work. She asks a co-worker named Cass to help her remove her files from the system. Sam and Byron notice that the amount of nanite stock being used is much higher than what Ren reported. They ask her which simulation she's using, but she won't say, just that it's still experimental. Byron leaves, and she talks with Sam alone. Sam suggests using OtherLife as a virtual prison, rehabilitating criminals by letting them serve long sentences in minutes. Ren refuses. Sam gets angry and yells at her to focus on the real product. Outside, Ren runs into Danny. He tries to understand what's wrong, but she doesn't want to talk. They leave together and end up sleeping with each other. Afterward, Ren shows him the snowboarding simulation. They discuss how memory is just chemistry, and Danny says he didn't expect the simulation to feel so real. While Ren checks her phone, Danny takes another dropper from her bag, assuming it's the same simulation. But it's one of Ren's experimental ones, where she swims with her brother. He starts seizing and won't wake up, so Ren calls an ambulance. The countdown clock shows less than 5 days until launch. Ren and Sam speak with legal advisors. She corrects them, it's not a drug, it's software. Sam later questions her privately about the simulation that harmed Danny. Every other sim had been tested and approved, except this one, which only Ren tested. Back in the interview, someone asks Ren about her ambition for the tech, but she doesn't answer. To avoid criminal charges, Sam arranges a deal. Ren would be the first trial subject for a 1-year confinement in OtherLife. Sam pressures her, saying it's better than prison. Ren reluctantly agrees. Ren, Sam, Byron, and government officials gather in the test room. Nervously, Ren checks with Byron that everything is ready. The 365-day trial is much longer than any previous sim. Byron starts the simulation. Ren wakes in a small room with a digital countdown on the wall reading 001. There's a mat, a toilet, a tablet, and a hatch for food and supplies. She eats, exercises, and writes notes, only to realize no one will read them. The next day, the number changes to 002. She remembers Danny's seizure and bangs her head against the wall. By day 5, she remembers swimming with her brother and seeing him wash up on the beach. She promises not to forget him. Days pass, and she studies cases of coma patients waking up, wondering if she can do the same for her brother using code. She questions whether he's truly gone and if life can be rewritten. On day 365, the lights turn red, but the number resets to 001. The exit routine failed. She panics and destroys the room. Later, she hears wind and finds a gap behind the food hatch. She pushes through and tears away a plastic sheet, finding herself in a warehouse. Her cell was fake, surrounded by plastic. She finds supply rooms, a guard's desk, and finally spots a guard returning. She grabs keys and a coat, escapes, and steals a truck. Walking along a road, she sees ads for OtherLife everywhere. She calls the hospital and goes back to her workplace. It's empty. She buys clothes and sees Sam's face on a magazine. At the police station, she says she's the co-founder of OtherLife, but the system says she was in Italy the past year and lists her as a missing person. They find nothing at the supposed cell location. She checks her apartment, but someone else lives there now. Sam suddenly appears, claiming he rushed over to help. Ren avoids him, sneaks away, and visits Cass for help. Cass gives her food and says everyone believed Ren just left for Italy.
Ren finds out Danny didn't die.
He explains that in the simulation, he felt like he was drowning, but woke up fine after a week of testing. OtherLife launched successfully, and the prison application became its biggest feature, with proposals for simulated sentences lasting decades or more. Ren wants answers. Danny suggests running or going to the media. She reveals that she registered a patent her dad refused to use, hoping it would help her brother, but Sam stole it. Using Cass's ID, Ren and Danny sneak into OtherLife's office to find her data. They locate Byron's terminal and recover her hard drive. Byron alerts security, so Ren punches him and escapes with Danny. Cass is caught. While fleeing, Ren tells Danny they'll need an OtherLife printer. Since most are in the company building, they go to her father's house. The house is empty. Ren gets to work. In the morning, they eat breakfast and share a quiet moment.
She apologizes.
He forgives her, and they sleep together. The eye image from earlier appears. Ren wakes to her father returning. She tells him about Sam stealing her work and realizes he was the one who filed her missing report. She explains that when Danny used the swimming simulation, it felt like drowning because he subconsciously chose that branch. Her design had included a survival branch too, meant for her brother to choose and wake up. Her OtherLife version could rewrite memories, which was dangerous, more like a drug. Her dad agrees to challenge the safety of the tech with the TDA, which would delay Sam. Ren insists the simulation is ready and takes it to the hospital. After a moment, her brother wakes up, but then seizes uncontrollably. Crying, Ren hesitates before finally pulling the plug. She stays by his side. Later, Sam approaches and tells her Jared chose to stay in the dream world. Ren starts seeing visions of the test room, people yelling, and Byron telling her to wake up. Suddenly, the hospital disappears. She's on the beach again. Realizing she's still in OtherLife, she walks into the water. The image distorts, and everything turns red. Ren wakes in the test room and punches Sam. She tries to destroy the recording, but eventually calms down and reflects over tea. She finally answers the interview question. She wants to give people a unique kind of life they otherwise wouldn't know. The panel approves her version of the tech. Ren tells Sam she's leaving the company to focus on R&D and will keep the patent. Sam is furious and throws something after she leaves. At Danny's funeral, Ren talks with her father. They go to visit the hospital. But before she gets there, Sam calls, asking her to come back to the office. Inside, she finds things being packed. Sam and Byron are reviewing her prison simulation. They discover she escaped it and become excited about using it as a new interactive product. Ren refuses. Sam tries to convince her, but when that fails, he forces her back into the sim. Byron hesitates, but gives in when Sam says the sooner they do it, the sooner she comes back. Ren is back in the prison sim. This time, she thinks through the days and manages to wake herself up. Now free, she wipes the fluid from her face and puts Sam into the simulation instead. She and Byron watch him go through it. The system crashes, and Byron warns Sam could die if not pulled out. But Ren waits, letting Sam suffer through all 366 days, just like she did. When Sam wakes up, broken and sobbing, Ren and Byron leave him. Later, Ren and her father mourn Jared's death. She returns to the beach and stands at the bridge, watching the ocean. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.